Hey guys, as you know, I was not there for last Wednesday night because I had a baby. In fact, if you look around, you'll see that I'm standing in Hanalei Ellen McGinty's nursery. We got it done the afternoon she showed up. Whew, nothing like cutting a little bit close. Anyway, I missed you guys. I trust things went well and good times. We kicked off a new series called Basic with Francis Chan, and you started off talking about the fear of God. And I could talk a little bit about fear. I don't know if you've ever been in a surgery room, but I wasn't on the operating table. My wife Brooke, she was sitting there, and I was in there too, and she's having a C-section, and they have this curtain up, and I'm sitting behind the curtain, and I know on the other side of the curtain, the doctors are cutting her open, and they're going to pull out my baby girl out of this 5-inch slit on her abdomen. I can't really describe it, but it was this excitement. It was this fear, like, well, what happens? What if something goes wrong? What if they pull the baby out and she doesn't start breathing? What happens? All this fear, all this anxiety. I mean, even now, you know, she's born and she's healthy. I got myself a baby monitor, and you can see her there. She's sleeping right in the other room. But I have this because I'm afraid. Is she gonna be okay? Does she need something? Is there anything wrong? And I think about all these fears and these anxieties, especially as we talk about fearing God and the difference. And we look at, you know, Isaiah's encounter with God and the emotional fear aspect that was triggered when he really encountered the living God. He's like, I'm dead, I'm gonna die. I can't stand in his presence. He's too perfect, he's too holy. What am I? Who am I? He's amazing, he's so powerful, I can't even comprehend him. Completely overwhelmed. And if I think about that kind of response, I think if I was in his shoes, all these other fears I have, they pale in comparison. It's like all those fears, I was like, why do I have to worry? Why do I have to be afraid of anything else if God is on my side and he elicits a far deeper fear if I were to actually be in his presence? So I think that if a God that can elicit that kind of fear response in me, of that kind of magnitude, all these other fears that I have, they can't nearly be as powerful. God is in control. And he's actually with me, which is a comforting thing. You know, if we encounter God, we'd be afraid, we'd be blown away. But he says, fear not. He doesn't want us to live in fear of him. He wants us to come to him. He says, I'm your father. I'm your rock. I'm your defender. I'm on your side. Pursue me. Live for me. And I just think there's something so powerful that we miss out on that if we don't start with just how great he is, and that he would still want to be with us. And he's still want to call us his children. And I think we need to let our imaginations go wild with this one. And I want you guys to spend some time today really going deep on this, to really, really use your God-given ability to imagine. That's why he gave it to you. To picture yourself in his presence, to imagine just how deep and how great he is. And that he wants to spend time with you every day, anytime we give him. To live in his strength, to trust him with our fears, our anxieties, our needs, our wants, everything. And it's got to start there. We've got to know who he is before we trust him. And I just think it's so important. You know, you see in the video this woman, she's asleep on this bed, and all of a sudden as she's sleeping, the water starts to pour under her bed, and slowly she starts to drown. She's floating in the water, she's holding her breath, she's trying not to let go. And at the last minute she releases, and the air bubbles go up, she floats to the surface. And she floats to the surface, she has this huge gasp of fresh air. It's like, life. And then the waters start to recede, fall back down, and she goes back to her bed. And when the waters are gone, she wakes up, and she looks around, and it's like she's alive for the first time. But in order to get to that point, she had to fully understand who she was and where she was. She had to let go. Everything had to die. If we want to be awakened to this life and to what God has for us, we got to die to everything else. That's the only way we're going to really truly live. And it starts a fear in him, really understanding what that means. Even right now, I'm sort of shaking as I think about if I was Isaiah in the presence of the Holy God. Guys, I wish I could be there tonight. I really wish I could. I got my wife to take care of and a little baby. So my prayers are with y'all. Right now you're going to watch a short clip with Francis Chan going back over that Isaiah encounter, and then you're going to break up small groups.
But that feeling of just intense fear, you see, that's what I see in the Bible. It's not like they think to themselves, okay, I should muster up some reverence now, or I should show him a little bit of respect. No, it's this out of control, like Isaiah the prophet, when he saw God, he just goes, I'm dead. He's gonna kill me. It's just this instant fear. John, the beloved disciple, the one that Jesus loved, when Jesus comes back in his glorified state, John sees him and he says, I just fell at his feet like I was dead. I just fainted. I just passed out. That's what I see in Scripture.